Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tag video and I'm very excited to do this. I'm going to be doing the reading habits tag and the Readabits tag. So the reading habits tag was originally created by TheBookJazz, I believe, and I'm not sure about the Readabits tag. So if you know who is the original creator of that, let me know. I've seen a few of the reading habits tags and it was Tierney Reads who made me really want to do this one. So I am gonna go ahead and do it. So starting with the reading habits tag, there are 11 questions. So the first question is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? And yes and no. I pretty much can read anywhere. Mostly I'm either reading on the couch or our recliner, and lately I have been sitting out on our porch. So, but hopefully someday when we have our own house, we will have like a little area that I will specifically kind of make my own little nook out of. I'd really love like a nice window seat with cushions and just, you know, kind of my own little reading nook. Hopefully someday, that's in the future. Question number 2 is bookmark or a random piece of paper? Typically bookmarks. I don't know what it is. I don't really like just using random pieces of paper. I will if I have to, but preferably bookmarks for sure. And preferably just like thin paper bookmarks. Although I do have plant looking bookmarks, but I don't love those as much because they're so small. I'm scared they're gonna fall out of the book. I don't dog ear my books either, so. Okay, question number 3 is, can you just stop reading or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? So yeah, I don't stop in the middle of a chapter. I will if I have to, but preferably I have to come to the end of a chapter. Or like, sometimes they have those page breaks or just like section breaks and I can stop at those, but it's hard to stop in the middle of a conversation or an action sequence of some kind because then when I pick it up, I'm like, okay, what happened? I forget where I'm at. Whereas like if you end on a chapter, typically it like brings you to the end of something or a cliffhanger of some sort. Although if it's a cliffhanger, I typically have to push on. Okay, question number 4. Do you eat or drink while reading? I don't really eat when I read unless it's like a snack and I can, like a bag of chips or popcorn or something. Typically I will drink though. I'll have a nice cup of tea or like a sparkling water or something. But yeah, I don't like eat meals while I read. Mainly because I don't want my hands to get gross, and if I'm turning pages, it's just hard. The hand-eye coordination with the reading doesn't do well. Okay, multitasking, music or TV while reading. I can't actively have it on. The way my brain works is if I have music on, I will focus solely on the music. Even if it's like classical, or I like to listen to like Lord of the Rings soundtracks or Skyrim soundtracks or just like soundtracks of any kind, film scores, whatever, but my brain starts to pay attention to that and I imagine the scenes that are going on, what's happening, and I just can't focus. I can have TV on if it's something I'm not interested in. So like my husband will watch TV and I'll sit out there and read my book. But if he puts something on that I do kind of enjoy, I will occasionally get distracted and start watching TV. So typically I prefer silence. I don't mind like background noise. Like if I'm sitting outside and people are talking or birds are chirping, like that doesn't bother me. Okay, number 6, one book at a time or several at once. I don't understand how people read more than one book at a time. The only way that I can do more than one book at a time is if it is like schoolwork, so like textbooks, or if it is just kind of like a self-help book that doesn't have a storyline. I can't do more than one storyline at a time, especially with the books that I read, because there is so much that happens and there's so much world building and characters that I'm scared I'm going to get them confused and then they're going to morph, and I can't do that. I can't do it. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. Everywhere. I like to read, it doesn't matter. Anywhere and everywhere. If I have my book, I'll read it. Okay, number 8 is reading out loud or silently in your head. Definitely silently in my head, but there have been times where there was one specific time my sister was moving, her and her husband were moving, and I was with them, and I was riding with my sister while her husband was driving separately, and I was reading the Mortal Instruments out loud to her. Gosh, that was like 7-8 years ago now. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't mind reading out loud. Particularly if I'm reading like the story to someone. I don't just like, if I'm reading the story, I'm not reading it out loud. Unless I need to like really comprehend what I'm reading and I have to like focus. I'd be like, okay, this is what's happening. But typically just in my head. Okay, number 9. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? I do not skip pages. However, when I have a physical book, my eyes tend to, when stuff is starting to happen, my eyes dart to the next page. Or if I'm on like 2 pages and it's like a full page and then like a half a page and I get to the end of the chapter, I'm like darting and I read the last line. I can't help it. It just happens. I don't mean to, and I ruin it so many times for myself. And then I have to like wait, and I'm like, okay, focus on what you're reading and go through it, because I've ruined too many things for myself. And I'm the only one I can blame. Okay, number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. It kind of depends on the book. So for example, Uprooted was one of these books that like the spine is seamless, but the way that the book itself is like super flexible, that like the spine doesn't need to break. However, I'm gonna grab one of the Fortuna Sworn books and the spine broke just because, okay, well, I kind of made it break. I don't mind breaking spines, I'm not gonna lie. That was a bad example. Let me find another one. Okay, so my paperback, you can see there's spines. I also broke it because it's too hard to like read like this when they're thick books. I'm a break the spine type of person. Sorry. It doesn't bother me. Plus, like, I like a worn out book. Like, I would like a book that looks like it's been loved. So, that's my answer. Last question for the reading habits, and that is, do you write in your books? No, I don't. Textbooks, yes. I'll write with like a pencil. Certain self-help books or inspirational books, I will also, like, I will underline or kind of highlight. It just kind of depends. I also don't annotate. I kind of wish I did. I just like, I don't know how, and I don't like the idea of stopping in the middle of what I'm reading to find a sticky and place it in the book. I don't know. It seems disruptive. Although it would make going back through my books a lot easier. But I don't write and I don't annotate. I'm kind of a very vanilla reader, I feel like. So now, quickly, let's move to the Readabits questions. There's only 6, so let's go. When do you find yourself reading? Morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you get the chance, or all the time? Pretty much whenever I am able to read. So if I have time in the morning, I'm going to read in the morning. If I have time in the afternoon, at night, I read all the time. What is your best setting to read in? It doesn't matter. I like when it's sunny, because then my brain, sometimes when it's like cloudy and gray, I get headaches more. But also I like when it's raining and I can curl up with my blankets and listen to the rain and have a cup of tea and just be cozy. And also in a setting where I have no responsibilities or other homework or anything else I should be working on. Number 3, what do you do first, read or watch? Depends on what it is. Typically probably read. Yeah, I would say read. What form do you prefer? Audio, ebook, or physical book? I enjoy the convenience of ebooks. However, I like physical books because if there's a map, it's really easy to go back to the map, or I can flip back a couple of pages without having to like swipe a bunch of times and losing my space. But those are the two formats that I use. Audiobooks, I can't focus. I have to comprehend by seeing versus hearing, so that's how I am. Number 5, do you have a unique habit when you read? No, I just make a lot of noises and I make a lot of facial expressions and I move a lot, and my husband's like, please don't gasp audibly or make squealing noises when you're reading, and he's also trying to read because then I distract him, and that definitely happened last night. I'm a visually and audible reader. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Okay, last question for the Readabits, which is, do book series have to match? I'm gonna say now, I don't think I have one series that matches except for my Fortuna Sworn series. That's the only one that fully matches. My A Court of Thorns and Roses series, I have all but one as hardbacks. My Harry Potter ones, the first 3 are paperback, the last 4 are hardback. My Lord of the Rings and Hobbits, I have like 2 Hobbits, and then I have like a triple, like all the series in one book. My Chronicles of Narnia, I have like a weird Magician's Nephew. I have an old school Prince Caspian, and then I have another like all series in one. If that answers that question, preferably yes, because it kind of surprises me. I'm a pretty big perfectionist, so it's kind of surprising that this is all in disarray and like don't match, but it is what it is, I guess. It's fine. They have the same story, right? That's all that matters. Okay, and that was the last of the questions. I really enjoyed this tag. I thought it was really fun. It's exciting. It's just, I don't know. I find it really interesting to hear other people's habits and see if you have the same habits or not and whatnot. If you feel like answering any of these questions, put them in my comment box. I would love to see what you guys do, what your reading habits are. If you do this tag, let me know, because honestly, anybody watching this, please do this tag. I think it's so fun to see what other people do when they read. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!